welcome back to the Misty Morrison Podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 57 of Was I in the Wrong? Here on the Misty Morrison Podcast, we love to judge, we love to give advice, we love to help people look back on their situations with that 2020 vision and see how they could have handled the situation more gracefully. Before we get into our stories for the day, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, thank you so much for being here. Please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. Any kind of engagement can help. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. If you are on YouTube or socials, like, comment with your thoughts on stories down below, subscribe for more, and share it with a friend. All right, into our stories for today. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/Am I the Asshole Talk. I'm being gifted a house from my dad as inheritance. AITA if I take him up on the offer. My dad last night at the family gathering stated if me and my partner wanted to, along with our 2 kids, move into his house he rents out as long as we pay rent for 5 years, he will then sign the house over. This house is worth over $400,000. How bloody amazing and grateful I am is beyond words, and truly amazing to be without a mortgage and a roof over our heads by the time we're 40 years old. My partner couldn't look more ungrateful and unhappy if he tried. I said thank you so much to my dad for the lovely offer. My partner stood in silence. Everyone, my aunts and mom, all said, wow, why don't you take him on that offer? Granted, me and my partner don't want to leave the area we are in, but it's rented. We pay $1,500 per month for a small house. My dad wants I think I said 1,500 pounds or euros per month for a small house. My dad wants 1,000 euros per month for a bigger house, but a bit of a less desirable area due to being quite congested, and where we are is lovely countryside. But it's 5 years. We could do so much. I leave it until the morning to talk to him. I say this morning, I think I would really like to take my dad up on his offer. My partner states back, no, so you can be financially stable and leave me? That is not where I thought that was going. You would kick me and my dog out of even tell me to leave my dog behind, as it'll be your house. We aren't moving. Backstory on the dog. His dog bites. Since having children, I've kept the dog separate, but I still clean the dog, hoover and wash his area. My partner doesn't walk him, care for him, and barely feeds him. I've told him to rehome or give the dog to his mom so he can be looked after. He argues with me. It's been such a big issue in our relationship. So I said, maybe yes, as I would say the dog can't come. I will have a newborn and I don't want a dog that bites around my children. He said that he isn't going to support this decision. He would rather live with his dog at his rented house and let me and the kids go. What the heck? A dog you don't even take care of? I said, are you serious? You're going to choose your dog over me and your children? He said, well, you won't let my dog come, so yes. What is happening? I haven't stopped crying. He's called me names, told me I'm selfish, that this was some big plan that I have to leave him and be stable. I'm actually gobsmacked. Am I the asshole for wanting to take this opportunity for me and the kids? Should I be choosing my partner and staying put? I'm honestly so confused by his reaction and disgraceful behavior towards me and his children and this offer. What would you all do? Okay, there is an edit down at the end of the story. I haven't read it yet. I don't want to read it yet. That's just astonishing. Like, gobsmacked is all you could possibly be. But I don't think it said how long you guys have been together. No, you guys have 2 kids together, but it doesn't say how long you've been together. And you say partners, I presume not married. You have 2 kids, and you're about to have a newborn. First issue. His dog bites, and you have to keep the dog separate. You've asked him to rehome him so he can get better care. He doesn't walk the dog. He doesn't take care of him. He doesn't feed him. Why is there still a dog? For as long as you have had children, it seems for as long as you have been in this relationship, he has picked the dog over you and over the kids. And you're actually asking, am I the asshole for wanting to take this opportunity for you and the kids? Should I be choosing my partner and staying put? He's not choosing you. He literally said he wants to keep you in debt so you won't leave him. He doesn't want you to be stable. That's the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. If he loved you, he would want what's best for you, which would be to be stable. And also, like, a different level of not caring for the kids by being willing to keep a known aggressive dog in the house with them. No to everything. You're right. I hope you take your dad up on that offer. It's such an amazing offer. And fully truthfully, if you ultimately decided that was not the area that you wanted to stay in after 5 years, if you didn't want to raise your kids for their whole childhoods in that area, once he signs it over, you could sell it and go back to the countryside if you wanted to. You would have that option. This offer is really like a life-changing offer in a lot of ways. And I also like that it's a life-changing offer in that now because of this offer, your partner has showed you who he really is. He has finally said out loud, even though he's been showing you for years, he's finally said out loud that he chooses the dog over you and your kids. Now it's your turn to choose you and your kids over him. And he can take his biting dog too. Okay, I'll read the edit now. Okay. Edit. Thank you everyone for the comments. It seems that I may have been a little blind to some of his red flags along the way. The tenancy doesn't have my name on it. It's only under his. So this also says a lot. The house from my dad isn't ready until July 2026, so I've parked it with him for now. Not sure if he needs some time to really get his head around this and make the right decision, but either way, I think his behavior and attitude needs to change towards us. It is very concerning how he reacted and some of the ways he does deal with things. I'm in a vulnerable situation at the minute. I have a 1-year-old and 6 months pregnant, so I can't make any rash decisions. But for the sake of my children's safety, I will be moving into this house without the dog. If my partner decides to become slightly more emotionally mature about this decision, then he can come too. I want to keep my family intact, and this was supposed to be a wonderful opportunity for us, but I will be taking this for the sake of my children. Thank goodness. I'm so glad we got that update from OP. This was posted just over a month ago. So right now when I'm recording, it is January 2026. So it's the end of January. So she's got about 6 months. I don't know if she's going to stay with him and like see if he does mature. I don't look for that to happen. Or she's going to go ahead and leave early and move somewhere else. I don't know where. But I'm glad she sees the red flags now. And OP, I just want you to remember, keep it front of mind, you're not just taking this opportunity for the sake of your children. You're taking it for you too, because your children will always be happier when they have a happy parent, regardless of whether it's 1 or 2. They will always be happier with happy parents or happy parent. Do what's best for you, and you are already doing what's best for them. All right. So glad that one had an edit. Okay, story number 2 is coming to us from r/Am I the Asshole Talk. Disclaimer, I know I'm NTA. I just need somewhere to offload. Okay. It's my birthday. It's already been ruined by my husband. Again. He is mentally and physically abusive, and I want to end the marriage. We have 2 daughters, and my priority is protecting them. He has nowhere to go, no one to go to for help. He just lost his 6th job in the space of 8 months. Damn. He's a narcissist with a terrible temper, and nothing is ever his fault. He smokes weed regularly and was diagnosed with drug-induced psychosis and bipolar last summer. He is definitely manic depressive. We have no money. He's run up huge debts. He confides in our 6-year-old child like she's an adult. He gets her saying things to me like, "Don't be mean to Daddy. Please don't make Daddy leave. I love him so much. Please don't tell him to go. Don't make him angry. Don't do things that upset him. I beg you not to call the police on Daddy, etc." He gaslights both of us. Honestly, I want to end... Oh, okay. Honestly, I want to end his life right now for what he's doing to me and my kids. That's how much I hate him. It's just a figure of speech, by the way. I'm not actually going to do anything. How do I navigate this though? I have no support system thanks to him. I have no money and no job. Our baby is only 7 months old. I'm scared of losing our home. My eldest daughter will hate me if I break up this family. I'm getting daily debt letters and calls. I feel trapped. I'm so embarrassed by all of this. I mean, clearly, right, and not the asshole. And you didn't ask for advice. Well, you did ask, how do I navigate this? I know you said you're scared of losing your home, but it sounds to me like that is the least of your concerns, and it probably like you would lose it anyway at this point. My recommendation is take you and your kids to a domestic violence shelter so you can get the safety and the help that you need. And immediately, like once you're there, you can find a job, you can start working and saving. There are programs to help you get back on your feet. As for your oldest daughter that he has been gaslighting for all this time, you need to immediately get her into therapy to help her clear her head and understand that what he's been doing is wrong. Yeah, this is scary. I'm so sorry you're in that situation, but definitely let go of the house, let go of everything else, just get out. Okay, story number 3 is coming to us from r/am I the asshole talk. Who is the asshole here? Person 1 is going out of the country for a funeral and asking for donations/help for trip costs. Person 2 is coming into town while Person 1 will be away and offers to rent Person 1 vehicle to help them monetarily. It will also save Person 2 money versus a rental car company, helping both parties out. Person 2 doesn't drive most days, so rarely rents a car when visiting and just rides with friends and family. Person 1 and 2 make agreements a few weeks before friend 2 is coming into town and will be using vehicle. Person 1 asks Person 2 to borrow money. Person 2 says, I can go ahead and pay you now for the car rental. Person 1 agrees. Person 2 sends agreed $400. That same week, Person 1 says their vehicle needs a new battery. Person 2 offers to pay for the new battery to help Person 1. Person 2 suggests Sam's Club or Costco for battery as their price is usually lower. Person 1 texts and says the battery was $220 and to Apple Pay at Person 2 convenience. Person 2 ironically drives the same vehicle at home and knows the battery at Sam's is nearly $100 cheaper, but sends the money immediately on Apple Pay anyway. This has already gotten so sketchy. Person 1 asks for another loan a week before Person 2 is to even get the vehicle. Person 2 loans them $300. Person 2 is dumb. Person 2 takes Person 1 and an additional Person 3 to get nails done and makes clear when Person 1 says they want nails and toes done that Person 2... Excuse me. Oh. Where was I? Person 2 takes Person 1 and an additional Person 3 to get nails done and makes clear when Person 1 says they want nails and toes done that Person 2 is only paying for nails or toes, not both. At nail salon, Person 1 gets both done. And at the checkout desk, Person 1 says to Person 2, just pay for both and I'll Apple Pay you for my toes later. Flabbergasted, Person 2 pays out of discomfort in such a situation. Person 1 agrees to pay Person 2 $40 back for their pedicure. Person 1 then says they need a new purse before they leave. So Person 1, 2, and 3 go to a department store where Person 1 picks out a purse, matching wallet, and some body spray. I really dislike Person 1. At the checkout total is $84.21. Person 1 tells Person 2 to pay and it will be their Christmas present. Person 2 says no. Person 1 promises to pay them back and claims they don't have the money, but really needs this purse for their travel. No, you don't. Person 2 pays out of pure embarrassment and discomfort in the moment. Oh, Person 2. Person 2 is a doormat. Person 2 has a good heart, but Person 2 is a doormat. Person 2 immediately tells Person 1 the way they trapped them twice in the same few hours to pay for them is not cool, and sends a text message confirming amounts owed for repayment from Person 1. $300 loaned, plus $40 for the pedicure, plus $84.21 for the purse, wallet, and body spray. That evening, Person 2 takes possession of vehicle as Person 1 is leaving the following day. The vehicle is trashed out. Spilled milk everywhere, syrupy debris and other sticky material on windows, floorboards caked with stuff. Person 2 looks into getting it detailed and is quoted $400 plus. So person 2 cleans vehicle to the best of their abilities and buys seat covers from Amazon. Person 2 also had the car checked out by a mechanic due to a noise it was making and wanted to help person 1 in case it was something serious. Oh, the good heart on person 2 never runs out. It wasn't anything serious. About a week into the rental agreement of 30 days, person 1 informs person 2 their rental car in the country they're visiting is $60 a day and demands person 2 pay the same or take their vehicle and drop it off immediately. Person 2 says they, 1, already have an agreement and it's been paid and then some. 2, their situation in a foreign country is separate from their agreement, and while they're sorry they're having to pay such a high cost, it's not their issue. 3 shows person 1 that the same rental in USA would be $19 a day and would be a brand new clean vehicle. Person 1 then demands $30 a day and person 2 repeats above statements. Person 1 becomes belligerent. Calling names like cheapskate and manipulative, accuses person 2 of putting thousands of miles on their vehicle. Person 2 sends photos of odometer showing they have barely put any miles on the vehicle. Person 2, surprised by the hostility, says no, they will not send any more money, nor will they drop off the vehicle until agreed date. Name-calling and hateful behavior by person 1 continues. Person 2 states they will drop off vehicle on agreed date. Stop messaging. Person 2 stated from the beginning they'd only drive it 2 to 3 days a week, otherwise they ride with family or friends. Person 2 has maintained his agreed usage. Okay, so I don't even know why this is a question. It's clearly person 1 is the asshole, person 1 is manipulative. And they knew they could take advantage of person 2. I'm really curious about person 3 and why they didn't try to protect person 2 from all of this. Like, did person 3 know person 1 well enough to warn person 2? This is horrible. Awful, awful. And it just kept going. I mean, I'm glad for you that they're out of the country. I know, he's my gargoyle.
He's like, I'm the best.
The cat's up on top of the really tall bedpost close to the ceiling. It's kind of adorable. When he sits up there, he's just wagging his little tail. I'm like, that's my gargoyle. Okay, yeah, that was an insane story. Okay. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/WIBTA_AITA. Would I be the asshole for going no contact with a friend who's in a toxic relationship? So I've known my best friend for about 11 years now. The last 2-ish years, she's been in this toxic relationship and she refuses to leave. He's laid his hands on her a few times. They fight constantly. They're both pretty toxic and honestly, it's irritating the frick out of me. She'll sit here and talk all this shit about him, how he's a piece of shit, how he won't get a job, he only works during the summer, how he won't clean the house while she's working, he's addicted to video games, and so many other things. I hate going over there because every time I do, I'm ignored and they're fighting. Every time I bring up her leaving him, she says every excuse in the book. Oh, he's just going through something. Oh, this is how he was raised. Oh, it was only a one-time thing. It's just getting ridiculous. A few months ago, she did leave him and moved in with me. Mind you, I moved most of my stuff and my sick leopard gecko over there just for her to kick me out the next day and bring him back. Oh, she left him and moved you in his place. Okay, I read that wrong. Not long after, he had someone in his family die and she was all over him, making sure he was okay and everything, and he ended up breaking up with her, effing some girl a few towns over, and she still allowed him to come back. Now her grandma's in the hospital on her deathbed, and he's literally looking for ways to make it harder on her. Now, I don't mind listening to her problems and letting her rant, but she treats me like her therapist. But when I have any sort of mental issues, she ignores me or changes the subject and won't let me talk about my problems. It seems like this is a one-sided friendship, and I'm so over it. She's constantly bitching about her shit relationship, but won't take advice. She bitches she has no friends, but then treats everyone like shit. She's a hypocrite about a lot of things. She'll bitch someone did something to her and then turn around and do the same shit to me. I'm so tired from dealing with both her problems and mine. I can't even stand her anymore. I feel like a shit friend, but honestly, she's been a shit friend to me since the very beginning. When we were younger, she'd steal from me. She won't admit it. She's gotten with most of the guys I was with, then try to lie, saying she was with them first. Honestly, people have been telling me to cut her off for years now, and I'm really starting to think about it because being her friend is so effing mentally exhausting. Please tell me the truth on this. Am I the asshole? Clearly, it's more than just her toxic relationship, as she's a pretty shitty friend and has been the whole time. I'm going through a healing phase, and I realize that she angers me more than anything else, and it's so mentally draining to talk to her. That was hard to read because it wasn't necessarily that long, but it's like it takes up the whole size of my iPad screen, and it's just a solid block of text. Just a solid block of text. I mean, that was angering to read because, like, by the time you got done writing that, you should have had your answer. No, you're not the answer for going no contact and cutting her out. Everyone who has told you for 11 years you've dealt with this, gosh. Everyone who has told you to cut her out is right. You should have listened to them. You would have had a lot less stress in your life. It sounds like, I mean, you make it sound like she's been this way the whole time. I would not have tolerated this for this long. I probably wouldn't have tolerated this for a year. I, in the past, have definitely dropped friends for less than this because it's not worth it. And I know how draining it can be. I had one friend, and she was a really good friend. She was a great person. But like she had the same recurring problem and would vent about the same recurring problem all the time. Like I was her sounding board, her therapist. And like she wanted advice but would never ever take the advice, and it's just exhausting to get stuck in that cycle of like someone wanting help, you want to help them, and they won't do what you know can help them. Yeah. So you're at this point you'd probably be the asshole if you stayed friends with her. So not the asshole. You're right. Cut her off. Find better friends. You'd be better off being alone than being with this friend. Okay. That is 4 stories for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast. Remember, kindness changes everything, and I'll see you next time for another episode. Bye, guys.